Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel. So today is Wednesday and because of that we have another Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey, and I will link her channel down below and also the Goodreads group so you can search for some topics. And the topic for this Wednesday is my absolute favorite, and it is favorite non-written novels. And obviously I'll be talking about manga because I love manga, and I already told you that I collect a lot of manga and I read a lot of manga, so this is perfect for me. And I've been wanted to do a video to recommend you some manga since the beginning of my channel, but I haven't done it because I am lazy and I don't know how to do it. So I thought this was the perfect way of recommending you 5 mangas that I really adore. So if you want, pick any of these and please do it, read it, and love them as I do. So without further ado, let's get into it. And in number 5, it's Helsing, and this is a Spanish edition, but I know that you can buy the English edition because it's still coming out, I believe, by Dark Horse, and it's a publisher. Dark Horse is a publisher, but yeah. And so Helsing is centered around the Royal Order of Protestant Knights, and they're British, obviously, and this order was created by Abraham van Helsing. And their mission is to search and destroy the undead and other supernatural forces that threaten the Queen and the country. Obviously, because they're British, they have like the threat to the Queen and the country, and it's so freaking amazing and I really love it. And so this organization is now led by Integra Helsing, and she's a badass female character. So if you love that, you have to read this because she's freaking awesome. It's amazing. I love her. And she is protected by a butler, and it's a really awesome butler, and by the original most powerful vampire of all time, and that is Alucard. And if you can read it the opposite way, Alucard is a play with letters from the name Dracula. That's why he's the original most powerful vampire of all time. And so he swore loyalty to her family since he was like captured by the first heir of the family, and so on, so on, so on. And it develops into a discovery of a neo-Nazi organization called Millennium Organization, and they are trying to resurrect the Third Reich with an army of vampires. So is amazing. You have that feeling of war and Nazis and World War II, and it's freaking amazing. It's British people against German people, and it's awesome. I really love it, and you have a lot of supernatural, and Alucard is the best character ever. Number 4 is Elfen Lied, and once again, this is a Spanish edition, and this one, I am not sure if you can get the English edition because I searched for it and I never found it, but I know there is a fan-made subbed in the internet for this in English, so if you want to read it, I recommend that. Also, you have an anime show that you can watch if you can't read it. And but yeah, the anime is different from the manga, the ending. So I recommend you to read it if you can. If you can't, well, watch the anime. So Elfen Lied is about a mutant named Lucy, and she has been captured and is in a facility. And this book begins with her escaping the facility with some graphic violence involved. So if you don't like gore, you should not read this. And she escapes, but she gets shot in the head and she gets amnesia. And when she's found by 2 teenagers, she can only say new, and she cannot say anything else, and she's butt naked, and they decide they are going to help her. But obviously she's a mutant, so this is not going to end very well. And this is very interesting because it talks about social and alienation, and it also talks about like identity and prejudice and revenge and yeah, abuse also. And yeah, it's amazing. It also talks about our place in the world and the differences between human beings, and it has some great character development, and I really love this. I had to get this, and this is amazing, and I recommend you to read it. Number 3 on my list is a very recent one, and it's called Tokyo Ghoul. And Tokyo Ghoul is still ongoing. It has 10 volumes and 1 companion manga, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. Tokyo Ghoul is the story about this kid, Ken Kaneki, and he lives in Tokyo, but is a Tokyo plagued with ghouls. And what are ghouls? They are monsters disguised as humans that can only eat human flesh, preferably alive human flesh. So you can see how that does not went well for them and for the humans, so they can't live together. And what happens is Ken Kaneki has a date with this girl, and I'm not spoiling you because this is like the first 3 pages of a manga. He has a date with this girl and he doesn't know that she's a ghoul. So she tries to kill him, and from a series of unfortunate events, she dies and he is left for dead. And in order to save him, the doctors have to transplant some of her organs into him. And they don't know that she's a ghoul, nobody knows. And so he becomes half ghoul, half human, and it's the story of how these 2 races are at war, and if they can live together, and it's also the story of him developing as a character and learning to deal with the fact that he's half human, half ghoul, and that he has some powers, and that he now wants to eat human flesh, and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool, also pretty gory. I think I have a pattern for that. But yeah, so, and it's pretty amazing. I recommend you to read it. It's also ongoing, so you can definitely have access to it. There's also an anime series, but yeah, I recommend the first season. The second, I haven't watched it, but I've heard terrible things about it, so maybe watch the first one. And yeah. The second one I recommend is Fairy Tail, and Fairy Tail is freaking awesome. It's the only one that's a little bit more upbeat from all of my top 5, and it's set in a fictional world of Earthland, I think. And this is a world populated by mage. They are wizards, but they call themselves mage. And the mage get together in guilds, and they have to use their magic to do some sort of work that involves using magic for the people of this earth. Yeah. And so it's about this girl named Lucy here. And she's 17 years old, and she decides she's going to run away from home because stuff that I can tell you. And she wants to join a guild because she's also a mage. And she joins Fairy Tail, and Fairy Tail is a guild known by wreaking havoc everywhere, but not because they're bad people, just because they can control themselves and they cause chaos everywhere. And so she joins, and they go into a bunch of adventures, and it has a little thread between all of the adventures about the major plot, and I'm not going to talk a lot about that because that will be spoilers. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. And also you have a talking cat with wings. Amazing. And yeah, you have dragons, you have a lot of magic, and everything is pretty awesome. Also, this is comic. It's action-packed, but it has a lot of comic adventures and stuff, but it also gets you very, very sad, and it's about the power of friendship, and yeah, stuff like that, and I really like it. And my number 1, for anybody that knows me and that knows a little bit about manga, they know that this was going to be my number 1, and it is. It is Igarashi no Nakokoro ni, or how it's unfortunately translated, When They Cry, and yeah, this is the English translation, so you can get this in English. It's called When They Cry, but you can get it. And this is my favorite manga of all time, so it had to be on the first place of this top 5. And well, how do I explain this? This is about a time paradox, and is divided in 2 types of arcs. It's divided in question arcs and answer arcs. And the thing that happens is this is set in a little village called Hinamizawa in June 1983, and this is about a group of friends, and all of them are like our main character, like the whole group. And in each arc, one of them loses their mind and a crime is committed because of certain specificities. And the thing is that you have to read this with an open mind and work as a detective so that you can help them figure out what's going on and how to reach a happy ending. And it's pretty amazing. It deals with a lot of hard stuff like Elfen Lied, like abuse and paranoia, mental illness, what's the meaning of being bad or being good and stuff like that, and it's freaking amazing. I love it. it's really underrated, and I think that everybody that wants to read manga and that doesn't care about gore, because yeah, there is gore, they should read this, because this is a work of art. This is amazing. It has a beautiful plot, it has beautiful character development, like for real, every character has a past and a future and a present, and it's so amazing, and I recommend this to anyone who wants to read manga, anyone, but be aware that you have gore. Yeah. So this was my top 5 for favorite non-written novels. I hope you guys like it, and I promise I will try to review some of these mangas for you so that you can have a little more of an idea what they are about. And without further ado, this is it, and I hope you liked it. If you like it, please subscribe or leave a like. Bye!